Hello, I'm the creator of trapchess. Welcome to a game of Stockfish versus Stockfish in trapchess. To accomplish this, I go to chess.com/analysis. I make the first move, and then I press the spacebar to have Stockfish make the best move. Then I mimic those moves on the trap chessboard. When a landmine activates, I set up the new position. One move before the landmine activation, I make a move to have the board match, and then I can continue to use the spacebar mechanic. All landmines are hidden in the board randomly, accounting for 32 booby trap squares. This makes for some unique trap chess games at a high level. I'll talk about the game, or trap chess in general, throughout the game. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Also, please comment which move you'd like to see played first, and I'll choose one for a future video. Now, on to the trap chess game. I made the first move, e2 to e4. Stockfish is playing the Ruy Lopez opening, Morphe Defense, Columbus Variation. White has moved their bishop to b3. Their b3 bishop is now attacking Black's f7 pawn. That pawn is the weakest pawn that Black has on their side of the board, so it makes sense for Black to castle to protect that square. The bishop on b3 is still a problem for Black. Black has situated their knight to take it, and White will have to take it back with their pawn, doubling up their pawns. Pawns that are doubled up have a harder time protecting one another, so it's a weaker position. Black's pawn on e4 is forking White's knight on f3 and White's pawn on d3. White puts their knight on e5. e5 is a square that's centered so their knight can hit a lot of squares while protecting their pawn on d3. Also, it will be difficult for Black to push the knight away because White can defend it easily. The first landmine of the game is activated on e4. Black has lost their knight to a knight landmine while capturing White's pawn. You can see on the left-hand side that Stockfish is now showing an advantage to White. White's knight on c6 serves two purposes. One, it attacks Black's rook on d8. Two, it prevents Black's rook on a8 from moving. White has lost their rook on a8 to a rook landmine. They took Black's rook, but Black's rook wasn't lost to the rook landmine because it started on the square. Landmines only activate when a piece moves to the square. Black has lost their pawn on c2, one square away from promoting it. Black has lost another pawn to a pawn landmine on the f5 square. During setup, 16 pawn landmines are hidden at random on the trap chessboard. White has lost their knight to a knight landmine on the d8 square. Now White's advantage in terms of points is only 3 pawns. Both players have kept their kings on the light-colored chessboard squares. This is to avoid being checked by their opponent's bishop. Bishops can't change the color chessboard square that they start on, so if their kings are on the light-colored squares, the bishops on the dark-colored squares can never check them. White has lost their pawn on the c6 square to a pawn landmine. They were 2 squares away from promoting their pawn to a queen. White has lost their rook to a rook landmine on the b4 square. If the landmine didn't activate, Black would not have had a way to protect their pawn from being taken by White's rook. White's bishop on e3 is pinned. After Black trades their bishop for White's bishop, it will be easy for Black to go for the win, pending any landmine activations. Black's king will be able to take out White's pawns on the g3 and h2 squares. Then, Black can save their rook to take out White's final pawn, while attempting to promote their own pawn to go for the win. Black has moved their rook to h8. Now black will be able to capture white's final piece when white moves their pawn to b8. I think Stockfish chose to promote their pawn to a rook here instead of a queen because a queen is worth more points, so there's less incentive for black to take the rook than there is for black to take the queen. However, black is going to take the piece no matter what. Black is now working on cornering white's king. Unless black hits a queen landmine, this game is over. Thank you for watching. Please comment any thoughts you have on trap chess. I'd be happy to answer them. Also, please like and subscribe to help make trap chess a reality. Up next, I'll show the locations of all non-activated landmines.